Hopefully this is loud enough. Let's put this right here. Hopefully it's good enough. All right, everybody. We're gonna kind of keep it quiet because we're, as normal, all over the place. But our podcast is always on the move.
Yeah, no, we don't have a YouTube studio yet.
Working on it.
At the right time, that will happen. What is this? Oh, that's one of the feet.
The feet for what?
The chair.
Oh. Okay.
Dude, I'm gonna take
All right. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good night. Tonight's topic is y'all blind.
Wow. I mean, you know, just going raw, you know. Don't a little bit up or nothing. Yeah. You good over there, fam?
Yo. I mean, you gotta be real. You can't just sprinkle like rainbows and sugar. Like,
oh, okay. I mean, I don't
use
do that.
Sandpaper and stuff. What?
Wow. Use sandpaper and stuff. I mean, that's one way to smooth it out. Yeah.
Yo, the puns. I can't. Anyway. So I love how when, I guess you want to call them big events, they're cover-ups for like the little things that are happening behind such big events. For an example, well, two examples, you don't hear nothing about Diddy anymore as much. You don't hear nothing about Luigi as much. Like,
yeah, stories get big, but the follow up is pretty weak. Like, even with I know that's not the topic for tonight.
No. I'm getting into the point. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the thing that I think we talked about it, or I brought it up on one of our previous podcasts about like when they were separating a lot of the children from their families during the first like the what is his number, 46? I don't even know what his number is.
Yellow Man.
Yeah. When during Yellowman's first term of presidency, they was doing this like mass separation of the families, like the children from the parents, of the immigrants, and like the last major update that they had, or at least that I saw, maybe it's me because I'm not really into seeing and watching the politics like that, but like it was a big headline when they were separating the kids from the parents, but it wasn't as big of a headline when years later those kids are still separate from the parents. Like I had to look into it to see like what happened, because I'm like, it's mad years later, like what happened to like those, that's a real thing. Like I think about our kids, like if something crazy like that was happening, like we'd still be fighting to get them back, and the world is just going along about its merry way, right? So I looked into it, and yeah, like that administration didn't have a plan in place for reconnecting the families. They just was determined to separate them and use it as a deterrent for them to not want to, for immigrants to not want to enter illegally, because something like that will happen, which is that's crazy. Like there's a lot of children that never got reconnected with their parents. You can look it up yourself because I don't have the articles in front of me, but it there, yeah, if you look it up, it breaks it down year by year how many children, it shows, it gives you a great number in the beginning of how many children were separated from their parents, and then year by year they showed like how many children they were able to report that were reconnected with their family, which we don't even know how accurate that is, but the point remains that there was more children taken away and like traumatized by that whole experience then were reconnected to their parents. And it's just like it just seemed like a big I don't a big distraction. So long story short, and I don't like when they do stuff like that. Like they half report the news. They'll report the big thing that's happening, but they won't. I don't think they follow up as much. Like the follow up isn't headline news. The follow up is like you got to read this in an article, like because we're not gonna report about it. But yeah, it's very similar. Like Diddy was a big thing, like you just said, for a while, you know, and then his trial, and then after the sentence, yeah, you're not gonna hear much about him. They're not gonna be as interested in reporting about him as they were during that whole like 2 years or whatever time period it was that he was, you know, going through his stuff. So yeah, they it's like they try to pick and choose and tell you what's relevant and what times is relevant.
So yeah, with the now the new topic is the war that's happening, and um, a couple episodes back we did post about regarding the war. So now we're posting about the fact that there's war, but not a lot of you are understanding that there's not a lot of food, like a lot of resources, you know, being able to produce. Like, because Yellow Man locked off a lot of stuff, we don't have lumber. We don't have, um, farms are not getting sources of whatever they need to farm. Like, famine is about to hit. And y'all think, oh, okay, yeah, Yellow Man is you guys are so stupid, like, and blind. It's not even funny. You guys are cheering on somebody, and I swear all of you are January 6 people. I do not care. Like,
the people that support the stuff that's going on, yeah.
No, the people who support us, they have common sense.
No, not us.
Oh.
The people that support the things that Yellow Man is doing.
Oh no, they have no
like
sense.
they're like the January 6th.
Something's wrong with them. They need to be tweaked.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, don't even tweak them. Just throw them in the McDonald's food.
Wow.
To get rid of them. We're done with them.
I mean, they're more so the types that are still eating McDonald's, but
yeah, that's why they're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, just like Uncle Roger had said, if we're gonna eat something stupid, might as well be eating people. Although he said it was a joke, that's some real thing right there.
I mean, it's not even like they're. I don't have facts
Neither
to back it up.
This is allegedly.
It's all allegedly. Allegedly. But yeah, like it's not like they're choosing only the non-intellectual people to be implemented as sources of food at some of these fast food chain restaurants and stuff. I think it seems like, and going back to what I was saying in the beginning about the separation of the children from the parents, that we can't trace how many they found and how many they reconnected. What happened to all of those children that didn't get reconnected to their parents or found? Or over the years in general, what happens to a lot of missing people or missing children? Like, we've already been aware on other sources that some of these fast food restaurants or some of these chain restaurants, there's not enough cows to supply the amount of beef that they are using to make these burgers. So where is this meat coming from? Right? We've already we're not the first ones to talk about this. It's definitely been out there. And so yeah, you definitely like my wife was saying, there's food shortages. And if you go shopping, like you'll see like people that actually go grocery shopping, like you're starting to see certain products are not available anymore. You have to look for alternatives. And the way things are, the gas price one, this is like somebody I was talking to at work, or I overheard them talking, like since they've been in this country, gas has hit $5 like 3 times. Like this is the third time I feel like
$5 where? Because I've seen 4, but where in the
I guess
Sunflower Seeds?
if you're getting super, I guess if you get a
Oh,
93, it's probably $5.
I mean,
Because I see my boy, he got a BMW,
all,
so that's the type of gas he got to get. So I seen his stories. It's 5 and change.
the thing is with gas,
Mm.
even the gas attendant has told me they're all the same no matter how you look at it. It might have just a little bit of difference in it, but that little still lets you know they're all the same.
I mean, for the most part, it's just about it's percentages of pureness. 93 is closer to pure gasoline
Is that mid grade?
than 87.
Is that mid grade?
No, I think mid grade is 89.
Okay.
I think it's 87, 89, 93.
Oh, okay.
I believe, or it might be 91.
No, you might be. What? I've never heard of 91.
Okay, so it's 93. No, there's some places I feel like I've seen 91 somewhere, but it's about percentage of how watered down it is. So 87 is more watered down than 93.
I mean, the recommendation when you get a new car, I think it's what, super?
It depends on the type of car. Like if you have like a V6 engine, a V8 engine, anything higher than that, then yeah, they're telling you to push 93 because you have a stronger engine that requires stronger fuel or more
as
pure
as you
fuel.
clearly hear with the gas prices going up again, they're stopping the oil from being delivered and resourced to who it needs to be resourced. Everybody's fighting for oil, but at the same time as they're fighting for oil, things are starting to get depleted. And it's not just only America getting hit, other countries are getting hit too. And I think people are taking it as a joke. I think y'all need to wake up and understand who God is, and understand the Almighty is speaking and all of you are just deaf. Y'all about to turn dumb and blind. And I'm not trying to be funny, I'm being serious. Y'all need to understand who God is. Y'all need to start praying. Even if you're atheism, change your life. Because there's a lot of things going, and everybody is going to meet their judgment day. And I look at it and I'm just like, so we are going through our trials and tribulation, and people are like, oh, well, I wait for popcorn, but there's no popcorn. Okay, so what does that tell you? You just start you start recording and laugh. And it's like, I would start recording and be like, you know what? It's about that time. Like, I wouldn't even take it as a joke. I would look deeper into it, which is why now a couple episodes later we're talking about the fact that every big story, there's something hidden behind it that they're hiding. They have war, but what you don't understand is there's war, and now the resources are being cut. If you guys cheer on this yellow man and it's like he cut off CDC. Uno don't want to know about diseases. Uno could go outside, get hit by a fly, and then you're dead. Like, this is serious things. You guys got to understand. People who are running into politics are not running it correctly. They say that they're for you, but they're not for you. They're against you. That's the devil. Yeah. I want you to realize how life plays the angel, the demon.
Yeah, no, it's very deceptive the way how they make it seem like they're helping you, like you said, or like they're for you, but they're really not. Recently, my daughter, well, I think we knew about this before, but recently my daughter was letting me know, even though we knew about this or we read about this before, but she's reminding me that they are cutting off PBS, which is like
shame.
Like I don't know. Hopefully, some of our listeners are probably in around our age or similar. But there was a time where TLC was the learning channel, and you actually had educational shows on there that would show you things. It would show you like things around the world, or just how it's made used to be on TLC, and other things like that
anymore.
Right, and then they on Animal Planet. back before Steve Irwin passed away or got injured by nature. Um, the Animal Planet used to actually teach a lot of things. I used to learn a lot of things about animals on Animal Planet.
They had
And
books. They used to mail out to the parents.
Right? They had educational
the highlighter
material.
or something.
I don't remember what the name of it was.
There used to be,
but even National Geographic used to be a bit more educational, and I feel like a lot of things have just tried to turn into like a reality TV version of
No, what child do you know is outside now? Nobody's out. None of these children are outside. Every child that I could see now, they're on this tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I said the tablet is the babysitter, because you can't tell me, oh well, I don't have time. Then why you had a child for?
Mm-hmm. Right. Tablet is another form of distraction or a pacifier for children, and what it is we're all being distracted. They're being distracted from actually living life via these tablets. Even us as adults, we are many of us are addicted to our phones. We have it in our face like 90% of the day. We don't go too far away from it. We don't we don't go longer than 5 minutes without checking our phone to see if we got a notification or something like that. It's all by design. It's all by design. They want us to be distracted so that we don't see
zombies.
Right, so that we don't see what's actually happening. And like my wife is saying, like the war is the headline, but in the background there's a lot of resources that are being depleted, and they're not going to be coming back because we're not in a good space right now, trading wise with other countries and stuff like that. So, and we don't make anything, we don't produce anything. So if we're not in good standing with the other countries who send us all the stuff that we need, then
seriously,
right now it's like my wife was saying, that we believe, and we've been told by several sources, somebody in church. Well, I'm just gonna say that we've been given a warning by somebody who we believe in, and it's basically saying that a famine is coming and that you should be preparing for that famine. I believe me and my wife have been doing fasting on and off.
We're on 48 hours today.
Yes, we're on a 48 hour. We're on a 72 hour, and today is the 48 hour. What is it? Nine? Is it? Well, it doesn't matter what time it is, but we're at our 48 hour mark. So tomorrow night,
when this is posted, we will be at our 72.
Right. And I think many of us will benefit greatly from practicing fasting, because when this famine comes, things are going to be short. In the Bible, God has used, especially in the Old Testament, we don't really see it as much in the New Testament, but in the Old Testament, God used famines to judge and to discipline nations several times, and it's only by His grace and mercy that somebody or a group would have knowledge of what to do during those times, how to ration, how to save up, so that when the famine comes, they have resources that they've saved that they can use to stretch and get by during these times. So we're all focused on the war, we're all focused on our phones and various distractions, but no, I don't think enough of us are focused on getting our pantry ready or full or stocked. A lot of the times, every time something major happens, such as COVID or this or that outbreak or this or that, like The toilet paper is like one of the first things off of the shelves. Instead of waiting until these things happen, you can start, saving up your toilet paper now. Instead of waiting until these things happen, you can start stocking up your freezer now, or start, like getting whatever it is that you feel like will, is non-perishable, or doesn't expire quickly, because we believe that this is just another distraction. This war and these headlines are distractions from what really needs to be happening, which is fasting so that you're ready, and praying, and also gathering, and doing what you need to do to be ready for such a time when resources are low, or we have none, when stores are closing.
Yeah, stores are closing. Did anybody recognize that? Anybody realize? Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
did
yeah.
anybody realize the mass closing that is going on out of nowhere? Out of nowhere, people are saying, "Oh, we have to close down." Why is that? Why do you have to close down for? What's going on? Nobody's not saying anything. Nobody's not really reading the underlying thing. And again, although we're a small podcast, we're gonna be big, and they're gonna realize like all that what we're saying. We have. It's not like we're not reading and we're not seeing. We're not blind. Okay, we see this,
Yep,
we
the
hear this,
history
we're
repeats
knowledgeable.
itself. Yeah.
Yes, over and over the history repeats itself. Uno, okay. This is how I'm gonna tell you how Uno believe in Satan so bad. There's this thing called a census. It comes out every 10 years.
About every 8 to 10 years or something like that.
All right, and then after that, a couple of years, I think, or maybe the year after, then the presidency, right?
Yeah.
Do the math. Okay, we have X amount of people. We see the census. Time to sacrifice presidency.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's happened. When did?
I couldn't even tell you when the last census happened.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I remember one of them. I was supposed to get a job with them, and man, like I don't think I heard from them again, or I don't even remember. But
too much things is happening. All of you know, or just acting like you know, but I need to really go into the deep research and pray, because God will give you the wisdom the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of what's going on. And I realize every day I wake up is by grace of God that I can wake up.
mm-hmm.
And then one of these episodes we're going to talk about scientists, because we're getting on my last nerve with this. Oh, well, scientists created the world, and that's how dinosaurs exist, and man exists, and evolution exists, and okay, so that's a topic for the next episode, one of these episodes. I don't know when, but definitely gonna talk about that, because we're gonna have to wrap, because I need somebody out there to explain how that works and make it make sense, because as you talk to me about it, I want you to hear yourself and understand what you just said to me. And then, because once you explain all that to me, I'm going to tear you apart to make sure you explain that even better. Mind how you talk to certain people, because certain people are just like, huh? Wait a minute. Explain it a little bit more? And you're just going to be like, I did explain it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
When people ask, oh, but you don't see God. All right. You want to go down to the details? My husband right now is wearing a Santa Claus sweatshirt. Listen to the song where it says, he knows when you're sleeping. Pastor said this. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for heaven's sake. All right. That line, that whole verse line right there. Who's the only person who can do that? Only God. Uno take things and go from godly to Satan real fast and don't realize it. Again, that's going to be just a couple more episodes afterwards, because y'all need to understand and relate. I do not care. We do not care, if I could speak for him as well. We do not care if you want to come at us sideways. we'll continue battering you with it.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
And again,
the truth.
easy as pie. You can easily not listen to us. You can easily go to another podcast. This is our podcast. This is our voice. This is our opinion, and this is what we're saying. And this time, we are censoring stuff. But at the same time, we're keeping it 100. So if you don't like it, tough cookies. That seems like a you problem. You should take it up with yourself.
If anything, you could if you have any rebuttals or disagreements or anything like that, you could leave it in the comments. Like we'll be happy to either respond or provide you with a link to some information that may help you understand a little bit better. But like my wife said, we're gonna put it in the next episode. But I have my supervisor. He's an evolutionist. He believes in evolution, and I'll explain to you what I told him in the next episode. But yes, science. There's positive science and there's negative science. A lot of the negative science is trying to like push things and agendas that
omit God.
Yeah, they either omit God or go directly against God and the way that He created us naturally. And then we have the positive science that breaks down what is happening when you do these things and explains why it's bad. So not all science is bad, because there are some creationist scientists who believe in creation from God, not that we came out of some primordial soup or whatever. But again, that's for the next episode when we talk more so about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the answers are really in front of us all. We're in the age of information and knowledge and technology.
Since everybody's high on technology, the first thing you do, like my husband said before, is you wake up and you're looking at your phone. How about you wake up and pray?
Yeah, or wake up and open your Bible
or something. Like, your phone shouldn't. Remember, every little thing is a distraction. Up to the pitney get distracted. Okay, excuse me. Child gets distracted. So we are falling further and further into stupidity, where
ignorance,
and that too, because it's like I look at other countries and they don't have their children watching TV like that. They don't have their children on a tablet. They don't have their child who's 5 years old with a phone. Who are you calling, Elmo? Like, what's up with this? Like, you've got to be kidding me.
You're trying to call Bluey.
Yeah, that too. Like, the thing is like, certain parents need to understand, like, especially if you're a single parent, you need to understand spoiling your child is not going to help you, because there are children, if you say no, they will go into a whole rant that will end up putting you in a body bag.
Oh, like a tantrum. Yeah.
And I've seen it, and that's why.
By not curbing the tantrum when they're young, then they get old enough and they have strength and weapons. And yeah, how many times have we heard or seen about children or teens unaliving their parents or one of their parents or something like that? Like that, there's a void there. Like I would believe that it's very hard to be present in your child's life, be loving, be their primary teacher, instead of having the world teach them, or having the school teach them, or having the church teach them. If you're their primary teacher and you're giving them all this knowledge, all this love, and all this attention, I find it very hard and difficult to see that child turning against you when they don't get their way, or when you say no to something, or when they get in their feelings about stuff. I would like to believe that it's the children that are learning more from outside than inside that are probably committing those heinous acts of hurting their parents or unaliving their parents.
I sent you something on IG in regards to what you said. There was a black woman who said that it's better that you, the parent, teach your child because society will set your child up where, especially if you're a black, they'll set it be like, oh, well, you're the lowest part of the food chain. When in reality, we're the highest part of the food chain. Meaning, we'll eat you for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm not talking about eating
fast food.
Yeah, I'm not talking about fast food. I'm talking about we'll eat you with knowledge. We'll school like black people need to understand they are the smartest people on this planet.
Mm-hmm. They have the ability.
If they could, instead of thinking that they're still in these chains and stuff in their head mentally,
mental slavery. Yeah.
They could uprise. Mm-hmm. And they could really be really powerful. But these people just are so mentally there that they just let these white people just overtake them. And then any word these white people spit, this is going to be another episode. I want people to understand black people are not the minority. They are the majority. Mm-hmm. So black people, y'all need to understand. Y'all taking these words that these white people are saying, they are the stupid ones. Mm-hmm. No offense to some of you white people. Y'all are the stupid ones because when I really look at it, uno change up words that you don't understand. Okay? And trust me, I found the words and I will definitely post them in another episode because I ain't gonna talk about it right now. But some of y'all have the tendency of talking about, oh, I'm rich. No, that's borrowed money. Don't you dare start that. Mm-hmm. You guys think you're rich, but I could tell you, in other countries, uno are the lowest. And for the people who want to, be white, I look at you and I'm like, white is pus. Mm-hmm. Them 64 Corolla box sitting there, you want to be them? Mm-mm. Melanin is richer than gold. That's what you want to be. And
they be, and if you look at them, a lot of the times they're trying to actually imitate us.
And they're trying to imitate. They don't like us.
Yeah, they claim to not like us and don't want us around, but
they gotta like us.
Yeah, but they want our music, but they don't want us. They want our style and our fashion, but they don't want us. They want
to intermingle, but they just don't want to intermingle. If that makes sense,
right?
You want your children to be black, but you don't want the black person. Like my niece, I feel bad for her when she was growing up. My brother wasn't around. And her cousins were calling her the N-word. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Mm-mm. And you tell me the mother ain't do nothing? The mother's white. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing where something else happened to my niece. Mother didn't do nothing. But guess what? The problem dead, though. I'm not putting it on the podcast what it is. Y'all use your imagination. The problem dead.
Well, on that note. So
I didn't say they got murdered.
I didn't say you said anything.
God himself took him.
I don't know what. We leave that for you to consider and to speculate on. But again, yeah, what we need, and not to turn this into that, but what we need in our society is definitely more love, more grace, more understanding and compassion for our fellow man.
Too much going on.
What we more so need to do is to go back to praying and go back to reading our scriptures, because you'll see it don't take you too long in the Bible before you see famine. Before you get out of Genesis, you're going to see famine. When you get into Exodus, you're going to see famine. Again, like I said earlier, God has used famine multiple times to judge and discipline nations, and I'm not saying that we need to be judged, but if you could see, America hasn't been on the greatest, like they're trying to make America great again, which that's a whole nother podcast episode. But that in and of itself is alluding to the fact that America isn't as great as it used to be. So, on the path of us not being as great as we used to be, we're going more further and further down in education. We're going down in debt. You know, the money that we owe to China, and it's just we're not getting better. We're not recovering. We're not moving in a upward spiral direction. And it's only a matter of time before we get dealt with. And one of the ways, like I said, that God judges a nation is by sending a famine. So the main topic of this podcast episode is that the war is a cover-up. Not saying that there isn't actually a war happening, but what's happening in the background, or what's going to be the results of this war that's going on, is there's going to be a famine. There's going to be less resources. God forbid the war gets like serious to a point where they're launching stuff over here, and we're launching stuff back, like missiles and all the types of atomic stuff. Like, once it gets to that point, a lot of the
I bind you
right,
and cast you out.
right.
Mind yourself. This is a holy, sanctified house.
I don't know what's over here that keeps like feeling like it needs to move.
Same thing in the room's happening too.
Oh, well, again, yeah, we pray, and we fast and we pray, and yeah, if anything, we'll pray while we're on this podcast if we have to. But yeah, the direction that we're moving in, and if we get into a heavy war like that, where it's like, then there's gonna be lawlessness. There's gonna be like it's not like once we're in a war like that, it's not gonna be, oh, I'm going to work, like, no, we're gonna need to be sheltering in our homes,
Mm-hmm.
or in certain, like, we haven't had to do it in such a long time, but
America cannot last.
What are those shelters?
Go back to bomb
it's
shelters.
like bomb shelters and stuff like that.
We used to have a bomb shelter in here.
Right.
America can't last. And
no
go back to the hurricane that happened in Jamaica. Uno was complaining so much. Y'all think y'all gonna last when this war gets even heavier? Nobody wants to help you. Nobody wants to help you. Right now, they had asked Germany to help. Germany's like, nah, fam, you good.
Right.
So think about it. We're in a war that we should have just mind your business. But America don't mind them business.
I mean, all of these things, even if like some of these things have to happen, because as our Bible study group is in Revelation right now, and as we read Revelation, you're gonna see that these are signs of the end times. There's gonna be wars and rumors of wars. Jesus said it.
Bob Marley said it in his song,
right?
Rumors of the war. Like,
yeah, because he's singing the Bible. He's singing the Bible. He read the Bible too, so he know what it is. He's just repeating what he's read.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you see these things, these are signs, and we need to be looking up, because it's not gonna be too much more longer, right? It's not there in history. No, like America's the number one superpower in the world right now. Throughout history, none of the superpowers or leading countries, none of them have lasted forever, right? Rome wasn't like I don't have everything in front of me right now, but
we'll look into it.
Right, like at one point Persia was great, and then another civilization came and toppled that.
I thought China was taken.
Huh?
I thought China was taken first now.
I'm not exactly sure, but I know. Well, like they're going to be.
Oh, okay.
Like.
And then I think it's China, then India, and then something like that. United States is not even in the top 10. That's to show you how much what's going on.
Well, we're declining, and we've been declining.
We used to be number one in smarts.
Yeah, education was so. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like these things determine your status in the world. Education, I feel like, is number one. Like how smart your the individual citizens and your country as a whole is, and then also your GDP, like how much money you're generating. And for America, we've known for a while that we're in debt to a certain country, right?
But we're still making money though.
So with those two things, with us not being number one in those two things, it's hard for me to believe that we're still considered number one around the world. So we're already losing our hold or our grip in society as the world's number one superpower or leading power.
Built on a lie.
So it's coming to an end soon. Like before we were number one, Britain was number one, and then we had what we know in this generation. What we know is we used to be under Britain, and then they fought against Britain and came over here, and then the Boston Tea Party and the 13 colonies and all of that stuff. What they taught us in school, right?
That's if it still exists in school.
Well, at least when we were growing up, that existed. I don't know what they're learning about Tiger Woods in school, right? Like that's history.
If they're gonna learn about Tiger Woods, yes, put him as the first black golfer or whatever, or something like that, the one that made history. But don't put him.
I'm sure they're putting in the scandals. I'm sure that's what they're educating them on.
This is why Pitney them are jumping in adult conversations, and I'm still an old head. Children are to be seen, not to be heard. Get out of the conversation. It's not for you.
Right. Or if anything, just listen and learn, and don't try to. Not saying you shouldn't have questions, but there's a time and place for everything. So, yeah, we gotta teach our kids to be more
respect. They have no manners.
Yeah, we need to teach our kids to be more respectful. We need to teach our kids how to cook and how to clean and how to.
No, everybody's just using a maid. They're rotted.
Yeah, they're using maids. They're using apps. They're using Instacart. They're using
same maid. Oh my gosh! Like they're self-driving cars. Nobody's not going to be driving anymore. Oh, these are top. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's time for us to, because we could just keep jumping from one thing to the next, because there's a lot of things that are wrong.
I'm already doing it.
All right.
I'm already doing it.
So, we're racking up topics for future podcast episodes. But again, don't be deceived. Don't be distracted. Although, yes, there may be a war going on, there are other things going on in the background, and you'd be better off preparing for that and for what the fallout of this war is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I've said my piece. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
I'm good. I appreciate this conversation that we had for this episode. Y'all know the drill.
When?
Me? Meow.